Only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company Wizard Systems can help you with your CRM project. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday, focusing on different aspects of CRM, and today I'm going to take you more closely through opportunity management, how you keep a track of your sales opportunities. This presentation is about half an hour or so in duration, so it's just a basic session. Every company uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements. There's about 15 people on the call this morning, and I'm sure you've all got different needs from a CRM system. So after session, if you want to explore Workbooks in more detail, and if your company hasn't done so already, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session with your company to discuss your specific needs. Now, also on the call today, we've got some people that I know are already trialing Workbooks. There is a free trial of Workbooks if you haven't signed up for that already. So I have to, some of the information I give you, you may already know, and forgive me, so I'll need to go at the speed of the slowest, so to speak. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. If you've got any questions, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to cover those at the end. Also, the session is being recorded. After the presentation, you'll get an automatic email from our system with a link to the recording that you could share with your colleagues, and we'll probably put it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. All we do is CRM, Customer Relationship Management Solutions. We've been doing this a long time, since 1993. We have implemented over 3,000 systems, mainly in the UK, but further afield as well. And with Workbooks being a cloud solution, of course, we have clients that do their own thing. They set the system up themselves, teach themselves how to use it. It's so easy to use. But we're here on hand. Should you need us, if you want any assistance in getting your system set up, migrating data from the old system into Workbooks, training you on how to use it. As regards training, we can visit your premises or you can come to ourselves. We're based in Bristol, UK, or we can do online training if you're further afield. Plus, we provide all the ongoing support as well. So we've got a nice, friendly, responsive help desk service here. If you get stuck or you have any questions, you can call us when you want to. So when working with you, what we want to try and get at is what issues you're looking to solve, what objectives are you looking to achieve. This morning, we're going to be talking about more how you track the sales process with the opportunity management system, but maybe you have a need for improving your marketing, improving customer service, lead acquisition, and so on, or all of those things. And really, that's what we want to try and get at when we start discussing Workbooks in more detail with you. So what is Workbooks? Well, it's a simple, easy to use central system for managing all the information about your business contacts in one place, your interactions with those people. There's some marketing tools in there as well to help you be more proactive and targeted with your communications to those people. Unusually for a CRM system, not many CRM solutions do this, but we can create sales quotes, orders, and invoices. We can track a complete business process with Workbooks, from getting the initial inquiry through to qualification, negotiating with the client, creating a sales quote or proposal for them, converting that to a sales order, fulfilling the product or service, getting the invoice done, recovering the money, recording payment receipts. So a complete sales process could be managed with Workbooks, which, as I say, not many other CRM systems can do that. Now, there are two different editions, two different versions of Workbooks that you can sign up for, and they are called CRM Edition and Business Edition. So CRM Edition does all the CRM things that you would expect, plus the ability to do sales quotes. Business Edition does all of that, plus allows you to do the financial stuff, as I've described, converting it to an order, converting it to an invoice, tracking that financial transaction through there. And you can mix and match these two editions. So if say you're 5 users, you could have 3 people on CRM because they don't need to create orders and invoices, and the other 2 on the business edition. So you can mix and match these 2 editions together. I'll come on to pricing towards the end of our presentation. Now, in your company, do you have any service people, technicians, a help desk? They too could use workbooks for tracking their support activities. So thereby you're improving teamwork in the company. The sales and marketing people are knowing what the support people are up to and vice versa. And workbooks, as well as it being a great productivity tool for the user, it's a management tool as well. As we're using it every day, we can be amassing a lot of important information that can be really helpful for us to manage the business, manage ourselves, and help us make better decisions. Now, Workbooks has been around a long time. It's a UK system. It's 100% in the cloud. There's nothing to install. You can be up and running very, very quickly. It's a very secure system. To be honest with you, a level of security that most small and medium-sized businesses couldn't afford on their own. It's also very reliable. Last year, 2014, we had have figures for 2014 only. We had an uptime of 99.99%. It's always there whenever you want it. Now, just focusing in on some of the key areas of workbooks. So the core of the system is managing your contacts, managing your prospects, your leads, your customers, your suppliers. So you've got a ready-made database to help you track this sort of information. Now, Workbooks is very customizable. Shortly, when I show you the system, this is just an example of what customer records can look like, but you can easily take fields away, add fields to it. You can also define, and again, not many other CRM systems can do this, you can define different form layouts. So if you've got different types of customers, different types of suppliers, and you want to track different information against them, depending on the type of customer, you can do that also with Workbooks, have different screen layouts, depending on who the customer is or who the user is, who you are. You can have different layouts for your colleagues if you want to. Now, also with this part of Workbooks, you're also tracking all of your activities. So it's managing your working day, tracking your phone calls, your tasks, your meetings. Thereby, we're building up a wonderful history of everything we've done with that client. We can interface with any email system. So emails you send and receive are being copied into the history in Workbooks. There is also, if you're using Outlook, there's some very nice optional, this does cost a little bit extra, there's some Outlook integration with the Workbooks Outlook connector, as it's called, the Workbooks Outlook connector, and this will give you more options on email integration, but also allows you to share in a bi-directional way your activities, your calendar, your tasks, and your contacts in a bi-directional way with Outlook. So you create something in one application, it will automatically transfer over to the other, plus changes as well. Now, we'll work with any browser. We also have a mobile app. You can access it on your tablet. This is all included in your subscription. On some of our weekly sessions, we also cover in more detail how you can use Workbooks as a powerful email marketing tool. But you can easily get data into Workbooks and out of Workbooks. So if you've got data already in some application or Excel, it's easy to get that data into Workbooks and start working on it. From a marketing point of view, thinking about where do your inquiries come from? Do you have a website? Do you have a customer portal? You could create a customer portal with Workbooks, but we've got built in this web form integration. So if there's a very simple form on your website for attracting new clients, that can be integrated with Workbooks. And there's a bit of workflow in Workbooks as well. So when somebody fills in their details and they hit the submit button, that automatically by default becomes a lead record. And we spoke last week, our last week's presentation was on lead management, and I covered that aspect of workbooks, the creation of leads. So with this workflow, we can alert a salesperson or a sales manager to the fact that a new lead has come in. So in other words, with that web form integration, we're making sure that everything is recorded, nothing is going to be forgotten, and you're going to be working on those leads, responding back to that customer. Now, most people are doing email marketing these days. You may already be doing this right now as a separate function from your CRM system. But what we've got with Workbooks is the ability to integrate everything in one easy way. So with Workbooks, you can easily create lists of people that have something in common. There's quite a few different ways of doing this in Workbooks. It's very easily done. So you create your list that you're going to target to in Workbooks. Excuse me. And then we integrate with primarily three very well-known email marketing systems. MailChimp is the main one, but also Constant Contact and .mailer. So that list you create is uploaded to one of those three systems. No need to do any exporting or importing. Something like MailChimp will allow you to create a nice looking email. It will deliver the email. And then importantly, with the integration with MailChimp, two-way integration, automatically coming back into Workbooks, we can see against a client's record the emails they were sent, what did they open, what did they click on, observing hard bounce and unsubscribe information, all automatic for you. Very, very easily done. As I say, we focus on that in one of our other weekly presentations, or if you go up to our YouTube channel, you'll see previous recordings. Managing the sales process, this is what we're here to discuss today. Thinking about your business process. The correct adoption of a CRM system is all about aligning the system to match and track your processes, making your life easier, making sure that you're tracking the right information, and that you're managing situations in a more efficient way. So with Workbooks, we have a built-in quotation capability. You can store your price list in Workbooks. That can be imported into Workbooks if you regularly get pricing updates from your suppliers. You can define any number of different sales quote layouts. So if you've got different sales quote situations, short quotes, long quotes, they can be different layouts in Workbooks, very easily done, and all integrated with the opportunity management system. So as you do your quotes, you're updating in a summary way, you're updating the opportunity with the values of these sales and the products that you're hoping to supply. And then thinking about if you're using the business edition, different edition of Workbooks, you can then convert the quote to an order, convert the order to an invoice. It's a really nice feature of Workbooks there. Quick mention about customer service. So if you've got any customer service people, great way of them logging their issues. Again, all very customizable. You can also track service level agreements, SLAs. So if you have a commitment to respond to certain issues, say within 2 working hours, that's a sort of thing that can be done with Workbooks to make sure that you provide the right level of service. Everything's being tracked, and in a way you're building up a wonderful knowledge base over time of typical issues. Now, last slide before we dive into the demo proper. So putting your manager's hat on now, you can see using Workbooks, we've got a great way of managing activity levels. So where we're recording things, we can report on it and better manage situations and make better decisions. And tracking your opportunities, that's a key part for many of our clients using Workbooks, is tracking these projects that they have, whether you're a service company or a product company or a bit of both. It doesn't matter. If you're a solutions provider, or consultancy organization, it's very adaptable, very flexible to different situations and different sales methodologies as well. You've got a built-in report writer in Workbooks. There's about 50 reports provided with Workbooks to get you started, and you can create your own reports as well on any aspect of Workbooks, and the ability to create dashboards as well, graphical dashboards summarizing what's happening right now as regards key things in your company, your leads, your activities, your projects, your marketing information, your customer service, and so on. And again, we focus on dashboards in one of our other weekly presentations. Okay, enough of the slides. Let's get into Workbooks proper then. So I'm using Workbooks this morning in Chrome. This will work with any browser, work on Apple, work on your phone, work on your tablet. Now, as I've logged in here, you'll see straight away, it looks like your Windows desktop. And we have our Start button down there in the bottom left-hand corner and a Google-like search box there. You can type in part of someone's name or subject line of an activity, and that will find it for you instantly in the system. But from that Start button and the Start menu, here we are. We've got access to all of the key elements of a proper CRM solution with right at the top there, people and organizations, how you access all the people and organizations in your system. Now, this morning, we're going to be talking about opportunity management. Last week, we spoke about leads, and I said that we can convert, I showed you, we can convert a new inquiry to an opportunity. So that's one way of getting a new opportunity into the system. But from that Start menu, we have a sales section. So if you're in sales, you'll be living in this part of Workbooks. And of course, a key thing that we want to look at this morning are our opportunities. So if I select that, up pops a pretty typical display in Workbooks. We call this the opportunity landing page. This will show me, just like an Excel spreadsheet, summarizing here, row by row, all of the deals on the go right now. There they all are. Row by row there, we can see these columns. Incidentally, these columns you can change, you can insert there whatever information you want to in this summary view. But we can see here the name of the opportunity, the primary client it's linked to, what's the value of the sale. We support multiple currencies as well, by the way, because I'm operating in the UK. I've got pounds there, the close date, type of business, the stage of negotiations with that client as well. So there we are, all our opportunities on the go right now. And if we're nosy, we can click on one of these opportunities and drill down and see it in a little bit more detail. So this now is a record of an opportunity. Another window's popped up about this individual opportunity, and we have some tabs running across the top there, more detailed information about this opportunity. But on the main tab here, this is the key information about this opportunity. Now this is typically what you see in many other types of records in Workbooks: the record of a company, the record of a person, the record of an activity, a contract, a quote, an order, an invoice. This can all be changed. You can have different screen layouts, you can take fields away, add fields to the screen, and essentially we've got all the key information about this opportunity. So we've got the name of the project. Of course, it's linked to a customer. We have the close date. We have the stage of negotiations. This can all be changed by you. These are just the examples that come with the demonstration system. The probability, what's the likelihood, a percentage probability of you getting the sale? Top right corner, there's some ownership here. Who in your business is managing this opportunity? We also have a concept in Workbooks of queues. Maybe there's a group of people that manage this thing. So it may not be an individual, it may be a group of people. You can do that as well with Workbooks. What type of opportunity is it? Maybe you want to do the way you manage your opportunities, or who manages the opportunity, or how you do your reporting, or later marketing. You want to be able to categorize the services that you're supplying there. And for the marketing people, where did this inquiry come from? So we're trying to use Workbooks for tracking where the business comes from. We're using Workbooks for generating marketing activity. And we can then actually do a bit of ROI, return on investment, reporting to see how much we're spending and how much revenue we get from these different marketing sources, or from exhibitions or marketing activities, and so on. You can create as many extra fields as you want to. Now in this example, I've also got here an example of a sales methodology, if you like, called BANTS. There's many others out there: Miller Hyman, Scotsman, large account selling. Very important when you as a company are selling a high value item, or your sales process is quite complex, lots of things you need to do, and you want to make sure that you're diligently recording all of the important information about a potential sale. So this is an example. This is just an example. Some companies are using this right now, this BANTS, this acronym that stands for budget, authority, need, timescale, size. If you're in sales, this will all be very familiar to you. So the salesperson can merely type information into there. It's just an idea of what you may want to track in the opportunity to make sure you're covering all those bases there. You may also want to know who are the competitors out there and what products are they supplying and what's the relationship of the competitor to your potential client. And then if you wish to, down at the bottom, you can also track the individual items that build up this sale. So you can be quite detailed about the individual services or products that build up this sale and what they are and when are they going to be provided and what's their value and so on. So that's the main tab there. And also from here, this is one way in which you can create these quotes, orders, invoices. There's also a contract feature, an optional feature of Workbooks to create contracts there. But then clicking across the top of the opportunity, now you can have more tabs or less tabs as you wish, but we can see on the activities tab, there's one activity. We can see here all of the phone calls, tasks, meetings relevant to this opportunity, all the emails backwards and forwards with the integration with Outlook or any email system, they will be visible there. Who are the people on this opportunity? Who are the decision makers that you may need to track here? So a very easy way. These could be people in your system. Likewise, organizations. We've got the primary customer defined here, of course, but maybe there's other organizations, companies that have some kind of a role to play on this opportunity, and they could be recorded and tracked there. Anywhere you see transactions in Workbooks, those are things like quotes, orders, invoices, financial documents, financial things that you can track as transactions there, all visible. So a nice way of seeing against that opportunity all the important information. Now, if I actually now do a search for Atlantic, I could click here to open up this client's record, or if I just close down all these windows, just clear up my desktop here in Workbooks, and if I now do a search for Atlantic, or just type in part of the company name there, I can quickly jump to this organization. There they are there. And so this is a record now of a company. You can see its similarity to a record of an opportunity, the main tab there, and the tabs running across the top of the screen displaying more information. But we can see there's actually 3 opportunities on the go for this customer. We've seen one of them, so we can see here the other 2, and there they are there. Again, this is all very customizable, what you see there. So that's a quick run through of creating or managing opportunities. Of course, you can create new opportunities there. Managing opportunities, how do you see all of your opportunities? There's a few ways of doing this. There's also lots of reports with the report writer around opportunities. There's also dashboards that you can display around opportunities as well. A thing that we focus on in one of our other presentations, this powerful dashboard capability. To easily see at a glance what's going on there with those opportunities and where's the business coming from and which salesperson is producing those sales and how likely are those sales to come in and what's the sales value compared to forecasts and budgets. Right, as I normally do on our presentations here, I just cover a little bit about pricing. Of course, once we understand your exact requirements, if we haven't done so already, we can give you a formal quote or have a more detailed discussion with you about your needs. But there's an annual pricing with Workbooks, and there's the 2 different editions there, 228 for CRM edition or Business edition 504. There are some optional add-ons, Outlook, contracts, multi-currencies, you're working in multiple currencies, multi-company. And think realistically, does your company need some assistance in getting the system up and running? So we're here on hand to provide additional services online or physically. We can visit you to assist you with setting up training, or you can come to us once we understand what you want there. Right, we're nearly at the end now, so as I normally do, I open out our session to any questions you have. So please, if you've got any questions, type those into your questions section on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those. First question from Conrad. Excuse me. Can you report on individual sales making up an opportunity? Yes, you can. The bottom line with reporting is if the data is in Workbooks, we can report on it. So yes, you can report on individual sales or product groups making up those opportunities, no problem at all. Next question from Stefan. Stefan, can I import forecasts from Excel? Yes, you can. You'll need to save the data. All imports into Workbooks are done. That the data needs to be in a CSV, separated value format. So you save your Excel spreadsheet as a CSV type file, so straightforward. And then you can import in the import section in Workbooks. You can import that data into opportunities. You may, of course, already have, thinking about this, you may already have imported your companies. Those opportunities, I presume, relate to potential customers. So that would happen first, and that's like a second phase of the import to import those one or many forecasts relating to those clients. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through. If any more late questions come through, I'll answer those after the call via email. So it just remains for me to say thank you very much for your time. Your interest in Workbooks. Two things. Think about if your company hasn't had one already, if you wanted a more detailed presentation, be only too happy to do that. If you haven't signed up for Workbooks, there is a trial, 30-day trial. Go to workbooks.com, sign up for the trial. That, of course, can be turned into your live system. So any work you put into that trial will be transferred through there, or you could wipe the slate clean if you want to start all over again. But please come back to me. My name again is Tim Wilmot, W-I-L-M-O-T. Email address tim@wizard-systems.com. There's my phone number, our email address. Thanks very much for your time, and have a good weekend, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much indeed.